Hey y'all, we are back at it. Are we? I think we're live. Oh, I might need a microphone. I need everything. You know, you take 2 weeks off from doing this, and everything goes to heck. Um, hey y'all, Happy New Year, and also a little bit of Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas,
Happy
Merry
holidays. All that.
Happy
good
holidays. Somebody's on. Can't see who commented. Somebody commented though. Volume's too loud.
Stuff. Gary Speed. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Gary. Um, Basically today's topic is what we learned in 2024 and a little bit of a recap for 2024. It was a really good year
Yeah.
for
A lot of learning.
both of us, really.
A lot of learning.
A lot
PBs.
of learning, a lot of PBs, personal bests for multiple different things.
Yeah.
For both of us.
Yeah.
What's my take on Golden Muscle?
I hope that Berryessa does. Like I hope all bodies of water around here take the same system that Berryessa is doing, and they be interchangeable. So if it's a clean lake and you have a green tag, you go to any of the other clean lakes with that green tag and fish wherever you want. That would be the best
scenario,
best
and that's,
option.
And that's that, yeah, once you have a green tag that you can go to other lakes and they will accept that same tag at each location.
Yeah.
That is our hope. As far as environmentally wise, I don't know about the Golden Mussel.
Yeah.
I just know
I heard it's bad.
Probably been around longer than we think it's been.
Yeah.
And this is hopefully not too late to do anything about it, but you never know.
Yeah.
Again, I think they hope they do that tagging system across the board acceptable.
What's going on, Marlon? Crappie Closet.
Is the bass fishing industry getting overwhelmed with baits? People keep buying them.
Yeah.
I will say on myself, I am very simplistic in what I buy. I'm not gonna buy 4 different versions of the same bait unless it has a completely different action.
Yeah.
But there are people that I know of that buy oodles and oodles and oodles of tackle.
Well, you know, it catches the fisherman. It might not catch the fish, but it definitely catches the fisherman.
Yeah.
So.
What else we got? We got another one. Oh no, same one.
Yeah.
I think that tournament fishing is on its way out.
Like
want
big,
to talk about hot takes on controversial subjects.
Yeah, like big tournaments is what you're talking about,
yeah,
right?
I think big tournaments are on their way out. Or just the tournament scene in general is on its way out. If you go back east, small time wise, you got like Alabama Bass Trail and ABT and all that stuff. Those are doing well and succeed, but if you pay attention, they're team series.
Yeah.
But as far as the individual fishing, I think there's a reason why it's struggling.
Yeah.
It's not an industry that can actually support you as a career per se. You are still working for somewhere, some way, whether it's working for your sponsors or have a side job.
Right.
Just part of one of the topics that we'll have in the future about like big tournaments versus small tournaments.
Have you heard anything regarding New Gen? They've been really quiet.
No, I don't follow any of that stuff.
No, I haven't heard anything.
I don't know anything about New Gen. I know they're still having they released a series.
I think they did.
Pretty
I
sure
think they have a schedule.
Series. They have a schedule.
Yeah, I think they have different schedules for different areas.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything's in
up in the air because of
everything's up in the air because of golden mussel.
yeah.
Um. All right, now the people are on. We got today's topic is what we learned in 2024
Yeah.
and a little bit of a recap of 2024. Where should we start with that? There's so many.
Well, if we're gonna start, we're gonna start in February and at Clear Lake.
Yeah, we'll start at the beginning of the year. I don't think January. I don't think we really. January had a lot of storms and stuff. We didn't fish that much in January. February.
I think I did fish. I fished the BAM tournament.
Yeah, you fished.
I fished the BAM, the BAM team open.
Yeah.
In
their inaugural
January open or February, somewhere right in there.
Fished that.
Fished that. Had boat issues.
Yeah, you learned that boat issues will come back to bite you in the end.
Yeah, boat number 1 and can't get where I wanted to go.
February, Clear Lake. What I learned there is that I have been fishing it wrong that time of the year, like completely wrong.
Yeah.
Minus, I had half of it right, but the other half I had wrong. What I didn't account for was how schooled the fish are.
Yeah.
That is what I didn't account for. And by saying that, I mean, they will be in a 10-foot, 15-foot circle or spot on the ground, schooled up, and nothing for 100 feet, 100 yards in each direction. And then there's another spot. And then you go down another 100 yards and there's another spot. And if you pay enough attention, the spots are predictable. I'm not going to get into that because we have a tournament in February. At Clear Lake.
I did catch a 6 in that tournament. I had a 6 and a 4. There were only 2 fish in that tournament. Like, it was tough.
Yeah, we had 4 fish for 18 pounds.
Yeah.
We didn't have a 5th fish. So a solid bag. Just didn't, like, I think our smallest fish was 5 something.
Yeah, it was a tough year, which in February, usually February is on fire.
Yeah, it was a really funky weekend, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I could usually go down the bank throwing A-rigs. I could not go down the bank throwing A-rigs.
The one thing that I might touch on that is we didn't start the tournament until like 8 o'clock. It was like an 8 to 4 tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't do that. Maybe that's something we learned for February.
Yeah. We learned in February that there is a bite window first thing in the morning at Clear Lake in the morning.
Yeah.
There's definitely a change of light bite window. As far as March, that was actually one of my PB breakings, which later got broke, but that was my PB bag. We had 24 something. You had 25 something.
Yeah, I had 25.
And that shallower bite turned on, and I was catching them on trash fish, which I've never done good on trash fish. So that was like a PB thing. Catching them on trash fish and A-rig. And typically we run A-rig that time of the year.
Yeah. I ran an A-rig the whole time.
And then you had one on, or you had
A-rig
mag draft.
Mag draft,
also.
yeah. But yeah, I learned that my partner could yank a hook out of his finger from an A-rig with a fish still on the other side.
Yeah, I forgot he stuck himself.
Yeah, he stuck himself, and he was so excited because we were just banging fish left and right that he yanked it out. I thought I was gonna have to pull it out, but he just yanked it out. It was amazing.
Boss mode.
Yeah.
Yank it out.
I was like, oh no. But yeah.
Yeah, that's in wind and all that.
Yeah, and it took me over an hour that trip. That was one of those times where Clear Lake showed itself.
Yeah, the nasty part of Clear Lake.
Yeah, the nasty part.
Definitely some club members that went home. That's for sure. Let's see. That's March. April was Berryessa. That was a bedfish tournament.
Yeah.
I didn't really learn anything there.
I dumped a good fish that would have helped me, but
Yeah, but as far as like lessons wise or
No.
learning wise, same kind of thing.
same thing.
Typical areas, bed fished, all that.
Yep.
Let's see, was it May, April, May? Where was May? Was that Oroville?
I think it was Oroville. No.
Yes, it was Oroville.
Oroville. Yeah.
Because Comanche was the ender. Oroville, I was the first time I've ever been to Oroville was the Friday before the tournament, and caught 14 pounds with my PB spot. Oh, I forgot. During pre-fishing earlier that
Yeah.
I broke my PB spot, and then a month or two later, I broke it again with a 4 something, and then you also broke your PB spot
Yep.
this year.
Yep. Berryessa.
And then that was also March. Also, you broke your PB largemouth.
Yeah. You got it
at Clear Lake on an A rig.
Yeah, A rig 813 on an A rig.
So the only thing I have to set now is a PB smallmouth because I think it's still like 3 pounds. I haven't caught like a giant smallmouth.
Yeah, I have nothing. We should go somewhere to do that, like travel.
There are places.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oroville. It was kind of cool to break down a lake really fast with no pre-fishing and kind of, I don't want to say stumble on them, but kind of stumble on them. Recognize what I saw, recognize what I was parked on top of, I guess you could say.
I'll tell you.
And that bag, it was a 14-pound bag. That bag should have been a lot better if I wasn't a horrible fisherman and slammed to set the hook on them. I should have had at least a couple 5+s more, 2 of them more, and then another that was probably in like that 3-4 pound range. So I should have had 18.
Should have, could have, would have.
Can't count fish. Don't land in the boat.
No, I did find largemouth at Oroville. That was cool.
Potentially one of them, one of the giant ones that I hooked, was a largemouth. I'm just looking at them on scope. So
yeah.
But it dwarfed everything else that was around it.
Yeah.
June, Comanche. I learned the Comanche sucks. No, I already knew that. I just grounded out on that. That was the difference.
You got
on Comanche was that I didn't juck and jive. I usually juck and jive, and I didn't.
You have you mean move spot to spot?
Yeah.
You have a question. Do you think bass clubs will ever start banning active target?
No. There will be some, I'm sure, but no. I'm guessing, Gary Speed, do you have do you have forward scan yourself? And if you don't, then get on the boat with one.
Yeah, go
and
look.
Spend a day on it and see.
Go with somebody that.
Oh, he does have it. Okay. I don't think they'll ban it. I think once people get exposed to it, they think, oh my gosh, I can't beat this. And then they get on the boat with somebody who struggles.
Yeah.
And they realize that it's not an end all be all.
Yeah. He says he loves it.
Yeah. It definitely you can learn a lot.
Learn really fast.
That is the one good thing that I learned this year was I switched from Lowrance in forward scan to Garmin, and there are little things that you can see with Garmin, and there are drawbacks that you can see better with active target. Yeah. But there's definitely no matter what, you got to get used to seeing it.
Yeah.
But I did learn that there is definitely a difference between the two of them. If you are trying to see your bait at over 80 foot to like 100, 120, Garmin picks it up better.
Yeah.
In that first 80 foot, it doesn't matter. Both of them pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a Lowrance kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'd rather go there.
Yeah.
So going into summer, One of the things I learned, I actually fished the Thursday night tournaments at Berryessa, 3 fish limit. I'm I'm a fan of the 3 fish limit, but I'm not a fan of the 3 fish limit. I learned a lot about Berryessa in the summertime at night fishing out there. I was coming in with 3 fish with 10 to 12 pounds right in there and getting
Yeah, like a 3 to
smoked.
3.5 pound average.
Yeah, and getting smoked. People were coming in with 15 pounds for 3 fish. I'm excited when I catch a 5 pound fish. They were catching 3 5 pound fish and bringing them in. It was amazing just seeing what people were doing, but just getting on the water and doing that. I hope it happens again this year. I don't know how they're going to do it with the tagging system when they close, but it was a really cool learning experience and somewhere that was close enough that I can go and do it in the afternoon. The Delta one is a little far away from me.
Yeah, the windy Wednesday nighters are, my job does not allow for me to be able to fish the
Yeah.
windy Wednesday nighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got off early enough. You can get to Thursdays. I don't even. When you guys were blasting off, I'm not even home from work yet.
Yeah, it was
So-
5 o'clock blast off.
Yeah, I'm not even home from work yet, so I can't do those ones.
But yeah, I learned a lot there doing that.
I definitely have some fun fishing days in the afternoon at Berryessa, and there's a morning bite and afternoon, like it's very similar but very different. I don't know how to explain it. You just have to kind of go play around out there. They set up different at like during the day versus that change of light nighttime.
Yeah.
Wise.
A lot of top water, a lot of glide baits.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah, there's a really good topwater bite at Berryessa in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was fun. A lot of stuff learned, right? A lot of different areas to go to find fish, to catch fish. And hell, you didn't have to go out in main water to win that tournament. You could have done it in the Narrows.
Yeah,
there's a lot learned.
that would be another thing that I learned this year is how good the Narrows is in Berryessa.
Right.
I would say 20 years ago, it was like probably wasn't even 20 years ago. I don't know how many years ago it was. But basically, if you went in the Narrows, you would catch a limit, but you wouldn't catch the kicker fish.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just, I know better now, which is entirely possible what it is. But there's a lot of kicker fish in the Narrows of Berryessa. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah.
And you could win it from various different, probably 4 different areas of that lake plus. And I'm talking like big areas, not like specific spots. Like there's big areas of Berryessa that if you just frequent those areas, your chance of landing a bigger one or getting a bigger one are higher than certain other areas. There's always big fish everywhere, but there's a more condensed population is kind of what I learned.
Another thing I learned this year or put together, right, is, and I think we've talked about it before, is the high water years to the low water years, the difference in baits that you could use. We just had another high water year and the A-rig was on fire, right? Maybe the water getting up high enough to where it's got more brush, more trees, more stuff like that.
More ambush points.
More ambush points, more spots for the baby fish to hide in to get a little bit bigger. But those, I feel, the higher water years, your A-rig is a better selected bait to use. And then, lower water years, you're going to have to figure out something else, like, for example, like a jerk bait or an underspin or something like that.
Yeah, the basically like bait cycle, right? Yeah. So you have like years of cycle that go through there, and what you're saying is the bait cycle we are thinking has to do with the water level.
Yeah,
is what the different bait cycles are.
What are the favorite trailers on an A-rig?
Aric,
Kitex.
Yeah, I just run all Kitex. I don't even run anything else. I just buy those.
Four colors.
Keep it simple.
Four colors, pretty simple. Bluegill flash, thread fin, rainbow shad, ghost rainbow, maybe 5 colors, and then
and muddy water is
sight flash.
Sight flash.
Yeah, that's it. And typically in these where we're fishing, unless we're fishing Clear Lake, it's 3 3s and 2 8s.
Yeah, 2 8s for the tops.
In the
3 3s for the bottom.
Swing impact.
Yeah, just a regular.
Yeah.
Kitech. There are times of the year that you can step up those size, go to 3 3s on the tops and 3 8s on the bottoms, but I kind of haven't been doing it long enough, or not long enough, but I haven't done that in such a long time that I don't even remember what time of the year you could step up. Yeah. I've just been running 2 8s and 3 3s for pretty much all year.
I do the bigger ones when I'm fishing Clear Lake.
Yeah, I don't even think I leveled up.
Yeah.
I think I left it the same.
I level up there.
I can't fully remember. Go back to the Clear Lake video from March, because I would have talked about it in March, and whatever I said there.
No, I definitely level up in that area. I'd go to like 3 3s or the 3.8s.
Yeah, I don't go any higher than 3 8s.
Yeah. It seemed like it'd be heavy.
What do we have? Delta fell back in love with flipping again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I fell back in, or that I was flipping.
Yeah.
And fell back in love with it again. It's really fun. I enjoyed it last time. The rod that I was using, I no longer had. So I stopped doing it and I didn't buy a new rod. And then I did buy a rod, but wouldn't pick it back up. Now I will pick it back up.
You got a question. Do you downsize the A-rig in cold water?
I think it's more of just what the bait is around.
Yeah, whatever the bait is.
Yeah. I've been throwing the same size regardless anyways.
Yeah.
Currently right now, the A-rig bite at Berryessa is 2.8s on the top, 3.3s on the bottom.
Yeah. I have been throwing a 3.8 in the middle.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, I have.
It's too much effort.
A little different.
Then I have to pay attention to which one was in there.
I did learn, I had a rod that was for flipping. I flipped at the Delta on a tournament, another 3-fish tournament one day, and I maxed it out, and I had to go shop for another rod for it, and ended up finding a rod. What was it, 735?
Yeah, he had a 734.
Yeah,
or something like that for flipping. And in the video, because he happened to have a camera that day, in the video you actually see the rod bend all the way into the butt, and like the whole thing is bent.
Yeah.
And then the last 4 eyes are just dead straight, and the rest of the rod's bent. And you can't have a rod like that and keep fish hooked with its dead straight like that. Like that fish is pulling against the butt of the rod. There's no tip action.
Yeah. So ended up buying the 735 Dobbins Sierra series, and we went to Clear Lake.
Yeah, and then let's see, that would be September.
Yeah.
September at Clear Lake. You upgraded your rod.
Yep.
Because you got maxed out.
Yep.
I broke my jig rod. I locker smashed it.
Yeah. That day.
Friday right before the tournament, and ended up luckily having my frog rod, and I used my frog rod to flip around.
Yeah.
And that's the next PB bag.
Yeah.
Currently our PB bag for both of us, because we were actually fishing together. 3173.
Yeah.
So 5.
Like for 5 fish. And that what we learned is even if you don't have a pattern, something good could happen. Any day could be that day. Because we had nothing. Friday we had 12 pounds, and we legit were like, well, we've been catching them on flipping. So let's go flip, and hopefully we could stumble across at least one kicker. And we ended up stumbling across every fish was a kicker.
Yeah, it was a solid day, and that was just picking up on the little things. Like
Yeah.
when we got one bite. Oh, on Friday we had a big bite that we lost.
Yeah.
Or that I lost. Took me around a dock pole and I lost it. Didn't get to see it, but it was big.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of what made us start where we started.
Yeah.
And then picked up a 5 or something like that. Like it just started to roll, and then we just started adapting through the day, kept your mind fresh, positive attitude, that kind of stuff. And it all ended up working out. And in all reality, we 100% thought we had like an 18-pound day that day.
Yeah.
And we are like, okay, well, it's going to be like 18. Maybe we'll top out at 20. And it ended up working big time.
Yeah.
And that was flipping around a jig rig.
Yep.
What else did we learn? You know, so when we were talking in the truck, I remembered a lot more stuff than.
Well, you're trying to break down the year instead of just talking about what you learned.
October, November was Comanche.
Yeah.
My learning is how much those fish move in Comanche.
Yeah.
And how much they do not hold still. I have been fishing that lake wrong. The funny part is like June, my thing that I learned was to slow down and stop. And November, the thing that I learned was to don't stop, keep moving.
Yeah.
And that they're not afraid to move quarter mile. They're not afraid to move. Yeah, it's probably about a quarter mile.
Yeah.
They're not afraid to move around. So that was definitely a learning experience on that. And then December was quagga mussel, the new school quagga mussel. December was canceled tournament because of the golden mussel at Berryessa.
Yeah.
But I will say, out of every year that I've ever had, I've probably caught more 5-pounders this year than if you add up like all my 5s. Not quite if you add up all my 5s, but like all my 5+s this year, I've had a ridiculous amount of 5+s.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly. I don't even actually know. I lost count back in April. I was at like 15 or something like that. I'm not saying I'm blowing them out, right? But I had like 15 in April, and I've had several since.
Yeah. No, it's been a good year. Definitely a good fishing year. I got a question here, James Herr. So I see so many people love using braid to mainline and as a mainline and have a leader. Why is that? I don't ever use braid unless I'm heavy flipping.
I use braid because there's less line memory and less line twist. So like if you use braid on a spinning reel, there's no line twist. Like, you know, when you open that bail and your line just goes, or you go to cast and it just like it loads up. If you have braid on there, unless there's something wrong with your reel, because I do have one of those, that line doesn't get any wind knots or anything like that.
Right.
And then the other thing is your sensitivity goes higher because you don't have any stretch at all.
Right.
But you need to counteract that. If you do go braid, you cannot have too stiff of a rod.
Right.
Because the braid doesn't have any stretch. So the stretch has to be somewhere. It's either going to be in your leader. You can run a longer leader or a different line or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you can have a rod that bends more, that accommodates so that you don't basically just rip the hooks out of the fish's mouth.
I feel like running a braid to I typically use mono. I feel like I could run the braid way longer, and I could just change out the leader whatever I want to. Like, I hardly ever change my braid.
Yeah, I don't think the only time I ever change my braid is when it's too low.
Yeah.
Like
I've had some bad days and break off a lot of line.
Yeah, like you hit the end of a cast. Like
Yeah.
you cast it out and it goes doink before it hits the end. Or before it hits the water, it bounces back at you.
Yeah. Gary Speed says, for those using braid to leader, try the new sinking braid. It works great.
I have heard about that, especially for forward scan baits. I have not played with it though. But I haven't. I just haven't. Like we were just saying, I haven't bought line. Like
Yeah.
my line has reel, or my reels have line on it for the last
3-4 years.
Yeah, probably plus.
Yeah.
Heck, I have a reel that used to be my A-rig reel. Two A-rig reels ago, and now it's on, I forgot what rod, but it still has the same braid on it. I never took that braid off.
Just change the leader.
It's 30-pound Power Pro.
Yeah.
The only other thing I run is Max Quattro for certain things. Do not put Max Quattro on a spinning rod. Just use the regular standard Power Pro. The Max Quattro, it'll bind up and mess up.
Yeah. Tom Smith asks, when's the muscle thing going to go away? Never.
Never.
It'll never go away.
It's too late.
Yeah.
It's already, the muscle thing's not going away. So it's one of those things. It's probably been around long enough that we're going to start to have what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially now that the holidays are done. January, we're going to learn a lot about what is coming. And hopefully, like we said early in this, they have a tag system that works across many lakes.
Big John stepped on. What's going on, Big John?
What's happening, Big John?
Happy New Year. Hamster 123. Just hopped on. What's the plan for the Reaper schedule with the golden mussel issue? We're still going to fish.
Yeah, we still have. We're still fishing.
Don't know exactly what we're going to do. We have 2 Delta picks. We don't know what we're going to do with those. They're fairly close to each other, so we might do something to make it work to where it's available for all of our members to be able to fish and still be within policy of what the state's doing or the waterways are doing. But yeah, we're still going to be fishing.
Yeah, we're going to continue business as usual until we get told otherwise, basically.
Yeah. Marlon says, how's the tournament situation at Barry? I don't think there's any tournaments going on in Barry right now, but Barry is on fire.
Yeah. There's a video that just dropped at 4 o'clock today, so 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
It's 45 minutes of us catching fish. There's a little bit, like the front half of it, there's a little bit of a like gap in between fishing. But if you pay attention, we're learning, like, it shows the stair steps of what we're doing and how we get to where we're catching fish. So that's why I left it in there. And then the back half, there's another little like space section between fish catches, and that also shows some stuff. That's why I left it all in there. It's a really good 45 minutes. I put notes in there that you can skip between fish catches, but honestly, if you watch it end to end, you learn way more. If you're there for the entertainment factor, yeah, you could just skip to the fish catches.
Yeah.
But if you want to actually learn, watch the 45 minutes.
Yeah, because we're actually talking in it, what we're doing and what we're looking at.
Watch what we're doing. Watch our rods. There's a lot of things in there that people don't talk about that I left in there, and it just was a good package. That's why I put the video out.
Tom Smith said McClure and Pedro are wide open.
Yeah.
And some lakes are wide open and a lot are closed.
Yeah. If you have a kayak, I've heard if you have a kayak, you can get onto some other ones as long as it does not have a motor.
Yeah.
It has to be a paddle kayak. But I heard that there are lakes that are close to boats, but you can still get a kayak on. Do not ask me what the lists of them are. I just have heard enough through people.
We've been going to Berryessa, and there's like maybe 10 boats on the whole lake.
We fished today out in Berryessa, and there was like a 3-hour block that we never saw a boat, like, at all. It was dead glass, and this is in the Narrows where you would see a ton of boats. It was dead glass. Yeah. It did help that some of the ramps were not open today. Markley was not open today. We had to go to Spanish Flat.
Yeah.
For those of you that are curious, if you go to Markley Cove, you have to be off the water by 5.
Yep.
If you go to Steel Park, they don't open the gates till 8, and you have to be off the water at 4. If you go to Spanish Flat, I'm not sure what time they open.
I think 8.
But the lovely lady there said, whatever time you leave, knock on my door and I'll come put a tag on you.
Yeah.
So
you could
obviously
get that afternoon fishing.
It'd be within respect of,
Yeah.
she probably wouldn't be very happy if you knocked on it at 8 o'clock at night. But as far as a little bit later in the day, that's the best resort to go to come off the water in that afternoon bite.
Yeah. Tom Smith said a lot of lakes just got closed. They didn't know what was going on. It's kind of horrible.
Oh man, if we weren't on public forum.
Yeah.
Miscommunication across certain entities of certain mass entities is always an interesting thing.
Again,
or delayed responses of mass entities.
Yeah, again, I'm hoping that whatever Berryessa is doing, it goes to all the lakes that are clean, and it makes it to where everybody can go to all those clean lakes on the same type of tag system, or at least utilize everybody's tag system, right? Like, I know Berryessa said they would accommodate Comanche's tag system and move forward. So I'm
potentially
hoping
they're working on it.
Yeah,
it's not 100% in.
I'm hoping that is what goes on. I'm hoping some of these lakes don't close forever, because I've heard that happening too.
The one bad thing is, so like we have our open for the Bass Reapers. Yeah. We have our annual fundraiser that was supposed to happen. The Wednesday before the tournament, that was on Saturday, they got a hold of us and said, we're closing down the lake. It's going to be closed for 30 days. And then a couple days later, it's still open. They're like, oh no, we're going to do a tag system now.
Yeah.
So then we go on there and we tell everybody, hey, it's closing for 30 days, yada, yada. And then 2 days later, they're like, oh, never mind, it's a tag system. And then a couple days later, like, well, we're not sure how it all works. There's so many things changing that I can't keep up with any of it. I'm just kind of waiting for chips to fall, and then I'll pick it up. Instead of trying to pick them up as they fall, I'm just going to wait for them to fall. Yeah.
Gary Speed says, I really appreciate the effort you guys put into education featured videos. Thank you.
Appreciate it. We like to keep it on the educational side and stay away from the politics and drama side.
Big John, that makes so much sense. I'm sure California won't be able to get their act together.
Yeah.
Possibly. We'll see. And then
they are not, the SoCal lakes already have a lot of this stuff already in place.
Yeah.
And that's probably what's going to end up happening. And there is not a tag system that goes across the lakes in SoCal.
We're hoping that NorCal is a little smarter.
Hoping that they will come up with something. But like I said, in SoCal, there is not a tag system. In Colorado, there is a tag system.
Yeah.
And that's where this tag system came from, is Colorado.
From Berryessa, this is Colorado. Jesus is God asked, do you hate catching trout while bass fishing?
He just caught a trout today.
Speaking of that,
it was a beautiful thing too.
It was probably 1.5 pounds. It was a nice trout.
Nice wide back on it.
Yeah.
Looks, a real version of this one.
Yeah. It hit a jerk bait and
went crazy.
It's actually fun. I do enjoy seeing them.
And you'll see that video a week from today.
Yeah. I do like catching trout. I have no problem catching trout.
Yeah. I if it wiggles, I'll catch it. I'll live with it.
Yeah.
I have zero complaints about catching trout. That's
especially when they're going airborne.
Oh yeah. You just see them in the water doing all their little flips and stuff, and then you just see them jump and doing barrel rolls as they're flipping. It's pretty entertaining. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I enjoy catching trout.
Yeah,
and I've caught them on drop shots, on plastic worms, cranking, jerk baits, A-rigs.
Yeah, I catch most of them on A-rigs actually.
They're
A-rigs,
fun.
underspins. Those two are probably my jerkbaits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those three.
Yeah.
Those three are probably my number one ones.
Trout catching.
For trout.
Yeah.
For trout, that is.
Happy New Year. Watching from Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus, Ohio. Well, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
What Columbus, Ohio. Where's your what big lakes do you fish around there? I'm curious if that's something. And are you guys iced over right now or not?
I would bet they're ice right now.
I know that Florida was supposed to get cold and all the iguanas were supposed to freeze and fall out of the tree. I do think that's kind of interesting that in Florida they have a public service announcement to tell you to be careful of walking underneath trees or other items because iguanas may fall on you.
Yeah. Jesus is God. Any on video? That will come out next Wednesday.
Yep, it'll be on Wednesday. A week from today. I still have to edit it and do all that stuff, but it'll be a week from today. That's a lot of words. Can you read that much?
That's a lot of words. How much height are they putting into forward-facing sonar, hover rig, and shaking a minnow crap? What's the big surge going on about that?
Is it real? Is it just propaganda? It is just like every other bait that's out there. Yeah. I will say this about minnow shaking or cricket tickling or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It catches crappie.
It took me probably 9 months to have a good day with it.
Yeah, speaking of that, that's something we've been learning.
Oh, that is something I learned. I forgot. That was actually part of Comanche. The November part was, that's where half of my weight came from.
Yeah.
Was from forward facing in literally 60 foot of water, and the fish were 30 foot of water suspended. When it comes into play, it's nice. The one thing that I am learning is you can catch limit fish with it, but you're not likely to catch your kicker with it.
Right.
You can catch kickers with it. Do not get me wrong. I guarantee you there's people out there that are catching pure 5+ with it. But it's, for me, what I'm seeing it as is a limit fish thing. And I will say, not that I'm good at it, but it's really hard to get them to eat it. They'll come up and look at it. In the last 2 trips where we're smashing them on A-rigs, I can't get them to eat it. I got 1 fish to eat it.
Yeah, like I'm getting like one here, one there, but watching them, I catch them better if I just kill it. Let it fall.
It's definitely, there's an art to it, and it's just like throwing swim baits, right? You can be really good at it, but there's half the people aren't going to be really good at it because they're not sure with the little nuances of it. Same thing as throwing deep cranks. The only fish I've ever caught on a 10XD was a 10-inch bass, but I know people who smash on them in the same lakes that I fish all the time. So if you get good at it, there are certain times of the year that it is, I don't want to say unbeatable, but it definitely ranks high in the top 3 baits.
Yep.
But
for sure. And it's got a place, right? Like you can target that when you're looking at the fish out there and you're like, how am I going to get those? They're too deep for this. They're too shallow for this. Like, you don't know what to do with it. It is a bait that you can put out there and get in that target range and put it in front of them at least.
And my current, I probably have casted at a couple thousand of them, and I've got 15 to eat. Right? Like, it's a horrible ratio when it comes to that.
Yeah, don't know what color is working.
There's a lot to learn. Like, normally when I pick up a bait and I really run a bait, I can pick up at least a ballpark of what's going on within a couple of months. And like I said, I've been doing this one for almost a year now.
Yeah.
And I still don't really understand all of it.
Yeah. Jesus is God says, I caught a fat trout on a Berkeley pit boss.
Heck yeah. On a pit boss.
Yeah. Gary Speed says,
trout.
In Ohio, it's probably Atwood.
Atwood.
Yeah.
Nice.
In Ohio.
I've actually heard of that one. Have not fished it.
James Hurst says, I never knew that there was smallmouth on Clear Lake until my cousin caught one this past summer. Yes.
Yeah, I've caught a smallmouth on Clear Lake. I've caught 2 actually.
Yeah.
It's near Rattlesnake Arm. It's actually the area, it's funny because the area that I caught, it was a good smallmouth.
Yeah.
The area that I've caught, I've seen other people posting that they caught a smallmouth and they're in that area. There's only like a handful of areas on Clear Lake that have smallmouth.
Yeah.
Fun fact, there are spots on Clear Lake, but I think they're usually up like Rodman or something.
Yeah.
I think Clear Lake itself doesn't allow for spots to survive, just the style of lake it is.
The heat.
Yeah, you got the heat that happens, and then you have all the grass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Typically, spots do not take stronghold in lakes that stay maintained level with grass.
Yeah, for sure. And if you don't know, there's a bunch of smallmouth in the Delta.
Yeah. Yeah.
A bunch of them.
If you go up in the arms or whatever, you can get spots and smallmouth. And they used to be a lot bigger. They're not. I haven't really seen them weighing in tournaments lately. What else you got?
I got all sorts of stuff. I met Mike Long while fishing in San Diego. The lake was called Dixon.
He was using the swim bait?
Yep.
Interesting. My jig rod that I bought was called a Mike Long. It's a 784 Dobbins Champion HP. They do no longer call it Mike Long.
Yeah. Tom Smith said forward-facing sonar seemed to be the rage at ICAST. Seemed like they were pushing to sell product.
Yeah.
If you don't have forward-facing sonar, go out and get it. Or go out with somebody.
Yeah. Go out and learn.
And look at it. See if it's something for you. It's just like side scan. When people learned how to do side scan, it is a tool. It's not the end all though, because I think I would be doing way better if it was the end all.
As far as them making baits that are so forward facing, there's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is it was all the talk of the drama was forward facing, right? So it already had the hype to it. And the second reason is there's a lot of voids to it. I will say that I've bought various forward facing minnow baits. There's only like 2. There's only 2 that I've caught fish on. Yeah. 3, I take that back. The juggle, the juggle, 6 cents juggle, that's not, I've only caught a handful on that. The Hog Farmer Spunk Shad, and then the Yum FF Minnow or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
FS Minnow or whatever it is. Those are the only 3 I've caught fish on, and I've thrown multiple other ones.
Yeah.
There is one other one that I got literally 1 bite on. But those are the only 3 that I can actually consistently. I do not own Sakamata shads. They're really expensive and they're really hard to get a hold of.
Marlon says that technique, the forward-facing sonar scoping, basically comes from crappie fishing, and which, if you go up to Clear Lake, even Delta or Berryessa, any of these, you could do that with crappie, and it is a blast. If
you want to learn how to forward facing, this is the only reason why I started to actually catch fish with it. Okay, you go to Crappie Closet, go to any of these other ones, and you pick up these little Mama Jammas. In fact, I'll even give you the good color for spring, summertime, Clear Lake. Okay, you pick up, is this the right one or is it the other one?
Yeah, that's it.
What is this one? You pick up one of these tiny little things right here. You put it on a little 1/8 ounce jig head and on a really light spinning rod, 8-pound line, something like that. And you cast this thing out there and you pay attention to it and you swim it back, put it up over the top of the fish, and you'll actually learn what you have to do to get that fish to trigger. If you can figure out how to get crappie to trigger, it does not directly translate, but it pretty well translates.
Yeah, it's really close.
And then you can do that again with bass with bigger baits.
Yeah.
I almost said real baits, but bigger baits.
Bigger baits, yeah. Marlon says, not hitting the big stuff, go smaller. They should smash on it. So he's saying,
Yeah.
downsize and you probably get more bites.
So our next tournament is Clear Lake, and that's end of February. And I promise you, we will be messing around with those crappie while we're up there pre-fishing. We'll probably spend half the day bass fishing and the other half knocking around some crappie.
James Herr said, will you guys be at the ISE show in a couple weeks? Yes, we will.
We are going to be at ISE. We're just going to be walking the crowd, though. We're not affiliated with any booths.
We'll just be around.
Like
if you guys see us and want to say hi, say what's up, stop us, we'll talk.
Yeah, we're not sponsored in any way.
No.
We talk about Crappie Closet. Good dude, good product.
Bass Union,
good dude, good product. Actually caught a lot of fish today on a Bass Union darter head.
Yeah, because he couldn't Ned rig.
I hate Ned rig. I'll pick up that darter head any day.
Thoughts on Tackle Warehouse versus Fish USA or Bass Pro and Turner's Outdoors? I will tell you that wherever you could get the baits that you want, buy from there.
I traditionally, my rank of where I'm going to go to is going to be Tackle Warehouse first, then Fisherman's Warehouse.
Yeah.
Assuming if I just need a bait, like I want to try a bait, I will go to Fisherman's Warehouse first. I'm not going to order Tackle Warehouse. Tackle Warehouse is usually my bulk order stuff. I'll go to Fisherman's Warehouse to get my one-offs, stuff like that. If I want to look at a bait, touch a bait, buy one, I'll go there. As far as Turner's, I don't know Turner's.
Turner's is a newer one. They opened a couple years ago around here.
Okay.
And they're like Sportsman's Warehouse. They sell guns. They sell a bunch of stuff.
And I will say I do not buy very much stuff at Bass Pro Shops.
Champ Kind says he prefers the fishing aisle at Walmart, which is not a bad spot.
My Cinco hook is the only place I can find my Cinco hook is at Walmart. And it is a cheap Eagle Claw hook. And every time I find it on the shelf, I will clear the peg. So it is literally the only place that I can get those hooks. So if they ever change that or discontinue that, I don't even know where to get them. And they have some other good baits there.
Yeah, they actually do. Can you guys pull out a laptop or maybe make a video on 3-inch, 4-inch, and 5-inch facing baits, and what? Just kidding. You would use with them in the hook size. What kind of rod do you like for shaking that minnow?
So the hook that I use is an Owner Ultra head, and it's just a round ball head with like a 2-inch or 2-aught hook. And then the rod I use is my favorite rod. It's the same as my drop shot rod. It's the Dobyns Fury 702. It's a $100 rod. It might be more now, thanks inflation.
Yeah.
But it's a little over $100. It's a 702 Dobyns Fury, and it has a good load to it. I usually throw 3/16 weight on that for that head. And like I said, the baits already, the spunk shads, the 3.5 spunk shads, the Yum FFS minnow. There's only one size for that, if I remember right. Oh, the smaller one. I take that back. There is a bigger one. So the smaller one, and then the juggle I've been successful with, but that's definitely I think that bait moves too much, and I move it too much.
You just move in
So it
general too
just-
much.
It's
probably.
going crazy, and I need to be more subtle with it. And I'm not very good at being subtle.
What's going on, Champ Kind?
Oh, Champ is tagging in, huh?
Yeah. Well, he was a Walmart.
Oh,
When we going golfing,
I
buddy?
missed that part.
Marlon said he'll be at the ISE show. Also, a backpack full of packs of baits, worms, Cincos, and crappie baits. So if you guys see him there, I'm sure he'll be wearing his shirts with the logo.
Yeah.
Hit him up.
Yeah, and you'll see. I'll be wearing my logo. Need to make some stickers.
Yeah, so we can hand
out some
out.
stickers. If you see me, say hi, shake my hands,
and
whatever,
remind him
fist
that
bump,
he has stickers.
And remind me I have stickers, and you can get a sticker.
Yeah, because you'll need to remind him.
Because I get squirrel. It's I don't want to say weird. It's really, really cool to like somebody be like, "Hey, I watch your stuff." Like it's
humbling.
like it encourages me to want to keep making these videos.
Yeah, it's humbling.
But it is also like is at the Dixon Mayfair, and gentleman walks up and he's like, "Hey, I watch your show," and I'm like, "What show?" "Oh, yeah, that's right."
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just forget that this even goes down.
Yeah. Tom Smith says Tackle Warehouse easily the best.
But if you are trying to pick up a bait that back orders often, Tackle Warehouse is not the best place to go. There are other places you can go, and they won't be on back order as long because they don't take as much volume of order. So when they get their order, it cycles faster.
Big John says, "So you're the reason why he hasn't been able to find that hook at Walmart." Laugh out loud. I'm going to have to raise your tackle box. Raid your tackle box, James, because I'm about out of those hooks.
Yeah, I love those hooks.
Yeah,
they're awesome.
James Hurd said,
definitely. Dixon Walmart.
Yeah,
Dixon Walmart always restocks them too.
Yeah,
they may be out at like Fairfield, at a couple different Fairfields in the Vacaville's, but the Dixon Walmart, they actually restock them.
Yeah. James Hurd says favorite jig trailer. I don't really throw jigs. I'll throw
my favorite jig trailer is either going to be the Spicy Beaver. The part I do not like about the Spicy Beaver is they're like a one fish catch bait.
Yeah.
They wear out very quickly, but they have really good kick to them. The other thing would be the one that does last longer is the I think it's the one I put on the
Rage.
The Rage Craw. Rage Bug? Rage Bug.
Yeah.
Rage Bug. For that one, Rage Craw has a bigger paddle, but I like the Rage Bug. And then the other one's just the good old Sweet Beaver.
Yeah.
Again, that doesn't last very long, but it has that dead action but bulk. That's what I'll put on there.
Champ Kind says, will you guys have a booth at the Cal Expo fishing show?
I wish
we're not that big.
I wish I made money on this.
No, we'll just be walking around and talking. So hit us up. And Champ, I'll get you a sticker for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just be walking around talking. You'll see the sweatshirts with the tags on it. Either that or he'll be wearing the Bass Reaper sweater.
Yeah, I'll probably have a Bass Reaper sweater on.
Yeah.
Gary Speed, just a suggestion: if you are strolling, try using a loop knot. Might get a more natural action.
Yeah, I recently heard somebody. I watch a lot of podcast stuff, so I don't know. I never know where. I shouldn't say watch. I hear a lot of podcasts. Like I play the podcast while I'm driving for work. So somebody talked about loop knots recently.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. My problem is I'm going to have to come up with a loop knot that I trust. Flip side of my brain thinking that is I don't really lean on them that hard anyways. The one thing I've learned from forward facing or from shaking a minnow, cricket tickling. I keep forgetting cricket tickling.
Yeah.
The one thing I learned from cricket tickling is when they hit, do not set the hook. Just sweep into them. Just lean into them. Don't slam them. It'll rip right through.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I've learned, and the one thing that I keep doing. That could be because I have braid and then a 702. Maybe if you do a lighter rod or something, you can actually hit them.
Yeah.
But I swing, and
Yeah,
I
you can't-
have to
you can't
remember
help it.
not to swing.
Yeah, he can't help it.
And I usually it takes a couple of bites before I land a fish because I have to remind myself to stop swinging.
I actually throw a loop knot on my drop shot.
Yeah, it's called a drop loop knot is what he throws on drop shot.
Yeah.
That wouldn't work for
Why wouldn't it?
minor shaking.
Why wouldn't it?
Because the tag end.
Just cut the tag end.
I don't know. Maybe. It's a bulky knot for it. I don't know. It's a very simple knot.
Yeah.
Even you can tie it.
You can't, but I can.
I'm not afraid of it. I just pull my knot, my drop shot.
Big John says he'll be driving to Dixon Walmart tomorrow.
Yeah, load up.
Load him up. You'll need him. But yeah.
What else? You had a really good thing that we learned this year. What was it? Where I said you should mention that.
It was the Thursday night tournaments. What?
No, that he actually got to use the string trick.
Oh.
To take a hook out, and that was the Thursday night tournament.
Yeah. Yeah. That braid trick where you tie it on, you push pressure on one side on the eye of the hook, and you pop it out. Yeah, I actually had to do that this year. Thing that I learned is you should probably have a
first aid
kit for all the blood afterwards.
Because when your partner starts leaking.
Yeah. So my partner actually caught it was a small fish like this on a chopo, a big chopo. And when he went to go grab it, the fish twisted and kicked, and he basically put the hook almost all the way through his finger.
Yeah.
And he didn't know the braid trick. I used 20-pound mono, and it actually worked really good. And I tied it on and didn't even tell him. And
you can never
right
overline size. I've done it before. You can never overline size, but you can underline size.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you underline size and then pop it and it breaks the line, it's gonna hurt them a lot more than if it just pops out.
For sure.
If you push that, you get the thing, you push down the eye and then pop it backwards, it pulls it right out.
Yeah.
The only thing that is an exception to is the Kasawagi, I think is how they call them.
Yeah.
The mega bass jerkbait out barbs.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you actually want to push up on those and pop that.
Yeah.
Just because you're unloading the barb.
Well, those ones, their barbs are so short. I'm talking more of a good treble, right? Like you put that treble hook in there, you're popping it out. The mega bass ones, you could pop them out. They're not gonna.
Just bend them. It's fine.
Just bend them. But I actually learned that. I did it, and then shortly after, I was at another 3-fish tournament, and a guy stepped on a chopo trying to get out of his boat wearing flip-flops or slides and stuck it into his toe.
Yeah, I've heard of probably 4, you're 2, and then an additional 2 of chopos.
Yeah, chopos are
going
dangerous.
through fingers and feet and legs and stuff like that.
I did help that guy. I did not do the pulling. I didn't know who the guy was, but I coached him through, said, hey, do this, push down on that, yank really hard on that.
Yeah.
And he did it, and it came right out of his little toe. It looked like it hurt.
Another thing I forgot to mention is my PB bag, 5-bag on Berryessa was also this year. I mean, in all reality, it's just the lakes are doing really well.
Yeah.
They're healthy.
Yeah.
They're for sure healthy right now.
Yeah, for sure. Sportsman show's coming up.
We'll be at the Sportsman show.
2 weeks.
I can make some stickers.
Yep.
Gonna have to get on that because that's coming really quick.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
That's a couple weeks from now, but I will have stickers. I'll have black ones and white ones.
Yep. And then get out and go fishing. Get those tags.
If you can get on to Berryessa right now, it is awesome. If you can get on to Pedro, I've understood that's awesome. And earlier they said McClure Oroville, we talked to a guy that Oroville, if you know what you're doing, you're having an amazing day.
Yeah.
Like
I talked to a buddy the other day, and he said he caught a 6-pound,
a 6 and a 4 spot.
spot. That is just amazing. That's a huge spot.
Wish I knew what he was doing. I'm happy for him, but I wish I knew what he was doing.
Yeah, he's good.
And if it wasn't for the tag system, we'd probably have gone to Oroville.
Rachel says she'll be at the sportsman or the sportsman show also. That's unfortunate.
She'll be there. She'll be there to hand out stickers.
Yeah,
and buy other stuff.
yeah, she'll be buying stuff probably with my money.
We'll be floating around the sportsman show. So we typically walk through all of it, the hunting, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you run across us or see us, say hi.
Yeah, we definitely look at all the boats. We go say hi to people and look at all the new baits that they have out there.
Hang out with the other club members from the Reapers.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So yeah, definitely. And Champ Kind or anybody out there, if you have my number, you can text me and say ask where we're at.
If you don't know this number, it's 867-5309. I recently saw a celebrity.
And yes, we will.
The number dished out as like a prank on them.
Yeah. Champ asked, will you guys be next to the beer tent? Yes.
I guarantee you there will be a beer at some point.
There will be one here and there.
Yeah.
But we'll be floating around.
Yeah.
Literally. As we're talking fishing, we'll be floating around at the sportsman show.
Anything else we learned before we wrap this up?
That's a lot. We learned a lot.
Pretty much it. As far as that's really it. The one thing I do have to say is I'm really thankful for everyone who watches these videos and actually tags along with this stuff. I'm thankful for everybody who says hi, whether it's at a bait shop or the fair or just wherever, anywhere. Or even on the docks, or somebody just driving by waving, on the water or something like that. It's
humbling.
It's humbling.
It's enjoyable.
It's encouraging to actually keep doing this, because there are a lot of times where you kind of wonder, why am I doing this? So when you do have somebody that says hi, it makes it nice to know that it's reached out, like it actually is going somewhere, especially when people are like, hey, like earlier, the comment, I like that you guys keep it on the teaching side. Yeah. Because there is a lot of pull inside YouTube to keep it on the controversial side because it is more successful. But I'd like to stay away from that.
Yeah. Dan Saw Fish says, sounds like bass fishing. Do you guys salmon or only bass freshwater? I only do salmon and lingcod. No, we do salmon.
Salmon is closed. In California. We're in NorCal area. Salmon is closed. Otherwise,
yes,
you would see some salmon trips.
Yes, we would do salmon. I do rockfish. We do sturgeon fish.
Halibut. Lingcod when we're rock.
Yeah, but yes, we do all of that. Being where we're at, we have a great opportunity to do whatever we need to do.
Who can turn down some halibut?
Right.
Or rockfish.
Big John is asking if Rachel's bringing the sandwiches.
You have some pre-made sandwiches, pre-made Brook sandwiches.
Yeah. Matt said, we saw Matt out on the water today. He said he should have followed us today.
Yeah, we told him to.
Yeah, we told you to.
That's the other thing. If you see us on the water,
don't be afraid to come over to us.
Don't be afraid to say hi, especially if you're lost. If you're having troubles on the water, like you just can't get on the bite, you can come find out if we've even found the bite.
Yeah, because we might not have.
And we might not have. We don't always find the bite. Sometimes it takes like half the day, like today.
But like even when we fish,
we'll always help at least share some information.
Yeah.
Even if we're in a tournament. I mean, obviously, if we're in a tournament, we're not going to BS for too long, but we're going to keep fishing. But we're still going to share information. I'll still chit chat with you. I've
actually told people in tournaments, hey, come over here and fish right here where I'm at.
Yeah, I definitely.
I really don't care.
When I find out that somebody else in the club is struggling or having issues or something like that, I'm like, hey, this is let me give you some tips. Run with it. If
Yeah.
it works, cool. If it doesn't,
I'll even throw you some
Yeah.
worms.
yeah, I'll throw you some baits. I'll throw you some worms.
Yep.
I'm not afraid of that.
Yep.
It's all about learning. It's all about having fun.
Yep. 100%. So don't be hesitant to, if you see us out there, come over, say hi, what's going on. And maybe you got some information for us. We could put, you know, between the two boats or whatever, we could put some information together and actually figure out what is really going on, right? Maybe we
Yeah.
see something and you guys see something, we can put it together and make it really work.
Yeah, there are some times where like it's something we would say or they would say, and you're like,
Oh, that makes
well,
sense.
if you put those two together, you get this, and everybody gets a better day. Sharing information is awesome.
Yeah. Rachel says, John, you don't want me to make your sandwiches, only Brooke. That's the truth. No offense.
I've never had a Rachel sandwich, but I'm just going to trust you on that one.
Yeah. No offense.
It's like a Brooke sandwich.
Brooke does like half a pound of meat. Rachel does one piece of meat.
Oh, like one little
one layer of meat.
It's like that.
It's like bread.
It's like that. What's that cartoon? There was like a Jack and the Beanstalk, Mickey Mouse cartoon where they take the little bean and they like, you could like see through it. They cut it so thin.
Yeah. Yes. Pretty much. Yeah. That is Rachel making a sandwich.
No, I prefer my sandwiches to have substance to that, not just bread, mayonnaise.
Yeah. Marlon says you guys are doing just fine. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Marlon.
And then Matt says you guys are great with sharing info. Appreciate it. Next time you can just tow us around.
we told Matt you today. I don't even care if you tie up to our boat and we go float around together. I don't care.
We told you, let's go.
Yeah, was not joking at all.
No.
I guess pretty much it.
Yeah.
For today.
I'm hungry.
I've barely eaten today, and we fished today.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday, a week from today, will be another video. If you have not watched the 45-minute video from earlier today, from 4 o'clock today, recommend going back and watching that. Like I said earlier, watch it end to end, and you'll learn a lot. If you just want to watch the fish catches, there's in the little description, you can go catch to catch to catch to catch to catch. So you can watch it all as entertainment, or you could watch it as a learning process. Pay attention to the little nuances. There's stuff in there that we may not have said.
Yeah.
But you can watch the rod. You could watch where we're casting. You could watch speeds. There's a lot of things to learn. It's kind of like a crash course, a simple course on throwing A-rigs, especially this time of the year. You can do that other times of the year, but right now specifically.
Yeah.
We actually not had as good of a day, but we caught fish doing the same thing we did in that video today.
Yeah, for sure. Dan Sawfish says, nice. He owns a Passion Point Bait Company. He's a commercial herring fisherman in Washington State, and he's never bass fished, but he'd like to. I've gone up and fished in Washington.
Yes, I have fished
Columbia
in Washington.
River.
I've actually fished Potholes, Wenatchee, or not Wenatchee, Moses Lake area.
Yeah.
I guess it's Wenatchee kind of also. But Potholes areas, I've fished, caught a couple of different things up there.
Yeah.
Smallmouth, walleye, different stuff. I don't know on the coast-wise bass fish. You'd have to, I think it's Columbia River is the most known.
Columbian River definitely has it.
It's definitely there.
A sturgeon fish there.
I have not. I've not fished it at all.
Yeah, good times.
Seen video of it.
Yeah. Big John says, that's it. Rachel's fired, tagging Brooke. That's for sure.
Yeah, we already fired her a long time ago.
A long time ago.
She started fired.
And then Champ Kind says, can I watch the cricket tickling? Yes, I'll take you out.
Brian will cricket tickle you as much as you'd like to.
Yes, for sure.
And then later on, you could chase a little ball around the field and play golf.
Hey, Champ, where's my tamales at, bro?
Oh, is it tamale hookup? All right, I'll trade cricket tickling for tamales.
Right. Where's these tamales at?
We'll trade for that.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. ISC's coming up. We're gonna have another live probably next week.
Yeah, why not?
If you have any topics that you want, let us know. Because definitely,
I got a
Always need topics.
Also, do you guys like the new time? Do you like it at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock?
It's gonna have to be 7 o'clock. I can't go this time. I can't get home this time.
Oh, you can. You could hope.
We might move it like 6:30 ish though, because I work late enough that I'm not sure what time I get home.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, you could ask them down below. If you haven't watched the video yet, go back and watch the video. I have a 4-hour video coming out soon in the next week or two. It's taking a lot longer to edit than I expected it to. And then there's a throwback video that's already made. That's a throwback from the summertime, and it's not my PB bag on Berryessa, but dang close. So that's all coming again live next week. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Until next time.
I'm done talking. I'm hungry and I got a tinkle. So, all right, y'all. Until next time, I hope you get them.